Hello, bonjour. Welcome back to another episode of Home Cooking. You got the blessed one on this side, and as per usual, you got the one and only chef. How you doing today?
Well, we're trying to make the most of the situation that we're in.
I dig it. I dig it. Why don't you tell us what's on the menu, other than the state of emergency?
Hey, I mean, there's bigger things in the world, but it's nice to be able to hopefully brighten people's day with two guys talking about number one, the Toronto Raptors, and how we have to talk about them again, considering nothing really has changed since last week when we kind of dug into their struggles. But from the Raptors, we're going to touch on the NFL playoffs that's coming up too, because it was a wild card weekend just recently, and there's a couple spicy matchups coming up, and it'd be cool to just see where Bluska, where your picks are, because I know that you are gonna already go with the Packers. But all right, tee off. Let's go Raptors.
Okay, the Raptors. The last two games against the Trailblazers and the Warriors. Steph Curry's been hot. CJ McCollum iced them last couple nights ago, or last night. But regardless, they've lost two games by 1 point, and now they've fallen to the bottom of the Eastern Conference at 2-8. And those 2 points is the difference between 2-8 and 4-6. And talking about that, I'm not gonna lie, I started watching top draft prospect videos this morning because
Okay.
I was like, man, like where are we going? Like the only like bright spot I'm really seeing is Chris Boucher. Like you like Fred and
For sure.
Siakam. Fred and Siakam have started playing a little better, but like last night you got Cal Lowry leading the way and come back against the Warriors. You get the lead, but they can't hold on. Same thing against Trailblazers. Trailblazers went on like a 20-6 run to end the game and come back and win. Like, those are, like we said before, like those are winnable games that you got that are in reach, and you got to take care of those. And unfortunately, we're not. So, what do you guys say about those?
See, I got you. I got you on that train of thought, Bluska, talking about the Toronto Raptors and taking a peek at the prospects in the draft. And oh man, I already got the names at the top of my head. We got Cade Cunningham. He's in the lead for the first overall pick. Got Jalen Green, who's on I think the Ignite team in the G League. So he really hasn't had too much game tape. But when the G League in their bubble, and I think Orlando comes up, we'll see more of him. But yeah, the Raptors not being able to get it done on back-to-back nights, it's terrible to be honest. And like the season is just in its like early stages, but it is a it is a shortened season, and
Mhm.
every game counts. The East is tough. I know that right now at the moment, a lot of different teams are struggling with contact tracing and COVID protocols. You see with the Mavs, the
Mhm.
76ers, Houston Rockets,
Celtics.
the Celtics. Like every team is just one after the other. I think even the Washington Wizards have a couple
Mhm.
players that are getting like or have to sit out or have to get like investigated. But
Yeah.
the big thing, man, is yeah. So back to the Raptors, 2-8, and I think it's time. Like we talked about it last week. I mean, like, is it time to make a move? Maybe not to make those win now moves, but I saw some reports. They're talking about maybe it might be time to consider a Kyle Lowry trade.
Mhm.
Like,
and that would throw everything back into for sure rebuild because you only have Siakam and Fred VanVleet averaging both 20 points right now. Kyle Lowry's right there with like 17. And then one thing about that is Norman Powell. Norman Powell should be up there with them if they're gonna be playing that Spurs type of basketball where everybody contributes. Norman Powell is supposed to be a leader on that team now, and one thing, scoring is a huge place where he can put his input down, especially with all the touches that he might get in the game that are now given to Chris Boucher, who's playing lights out. The last he's put up 23, 15, and 20 points in the last three games. He's shooting 47% from three, and yeah, he's the only guy that's really like the biggest bright spot. And now he's getting more minutes, and like he's really like feels like the only source of life right now. And Kyle Lowry now, like if this is the direction that we're going, uh, I feel like we're wasting the last little bit of his career. And I don't know if he's willing to stick out for the last little bit of his this dwindlingness of his career right now. I'm not sure if he wants to stay there right now because there's other options and teams that could benefit from a guy like him, especially his hometown for example. He could go to Philly and make some noise there, or to Brooklyn where Kyrie has gone AWOL. You never know, right?
Yeah, Kyrie is. I heard some stuff about him too. How this guy sat out a couple games or a bit because of the political unrest, but then goes to his what is it? His sister's like birthday party or something.
Yeah, he goes at the
So
party.
I gotta
Yeah.
say though, yeah, when it comes to the Raptors, just final thoughts. It's that Pascal Siakam, he got that triple double not too long ago. I think he was just the 10th player in Raptors history to ever get a triple double. And over his past 5 games, he's been averaging like star level numbers. So the people that were talking about how his stars shine has been diminishing, it's slowly getting back to its uh, acceptable levels where people are not going to be like, oh shoot, Siakam's contract is an anchor. No, like Siakam is a building block. He just needed some time to get out of his head.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I mean, you could trade Norm, you could trade Kyle Lowry, and maybe in an ideal world, you get us Kawhi in the offseason. And then
you
Kyle
gotta
Lowry
let
just has
go,
to come
man.
back.
You gotta let go of Kawhi.
No, no, no. Kawhi is coming back home. Kawhi does not. Paul George messed up by signing too early. Kawhi's probably Kawhi's like super quiet. He's probably like, Serge, I'm sorry, man. You shouldn't have signed here. You should have opted out.
But
No.
the one thing about Siakam is that I like that he has the willingness to take those last minute shots, but he's gonna start hitting those. That's 2 games. He's gotta get those for us because that's what we pay him for, right? But building blocks once again. It's stepping stones. But man, I don't know about Kawhi. I think he's chilling in LA, man.
No, well, he would have signed by now, Bluska. Like he knows that if things go south, dude, he's dipping, and he knows that
Yeah.
Toronto, he's the king of the north. Kawhi will come home.
You know what?
If Masai is here, Kawhi will come home.
We got to save this and come back to this if he does, because that would be a very interesting twist of fate right there. But Raptors next 2 games, we got my take for the rookie of the year incoming. LaMelo Ball and Gordon Hayward, who's playing some good basketball right now. They got a chance over there to play him in Tampa. What do you see out of that back and forth?
Yeah, so I mean, I think the other day LaMelo Ball shot like 1 in 10 or something, or something like that. He had a really really bad field goal percentage. I mean, he still puts up the other like statistical
Youngest
category.
triple double ever.
That's true. I mean, LaMelo, yeah, like I think you're on your way to getting that rookie of the year, but I mean that's tough. I mean, like I don't want to say they're equal, but it does feel like the Raptors at their playing, like at their level of play, they're at a level of Charlotte, and Charlotte I think might take them because Raptors are a bit dysfunctional right now. I don't know.
Yeah, you're not wrong there, but they got time to recoup after 2 like tough games of that nature. I hope they can squeeze one out, maybe 2, or just commit to the tank. We'll see how it goes. But I'm all Raptors out for today. How about you?
All right, let's move it on. Let's move it to more uplifting type of.
Okay, NFL wildcard round. What a weekend! There are some good games like the Colts. First of all, Colts Bills. Colts gave them a better game than I thought they would. But at the end of the day, Bills by 3. Is this Philip Flippin Rivers' last game? We don't know, but Josh Allen, he gets to go against his like kind of his nemesis, I guess, in Lamar Jackson next week, who proved he can win in the playoffs by defeating his legit bad blood nemesis in the Texans. So, what do you think about those 2 games?
All right, so Yeah, no, the Bills getting the job done over Indianapolis is something that I expected, but obviously I didn't expect them to be as close. And it was an interesting second half. Philip Rivers, he's a good guy. Indianapolis wants him back, so I could see a fit there. But yeah, the Bills look good. They lost Zach Moss, who was their other running back other than Devin Singletary, but
Mm.
I feel good about them against the Ravens. But Lamar Jackson too, he got the job done. People are don't they can't be trashing his name. He's got his dub in the playoffs. He's won everything, and yeah, I think that's gonna be an exciting matchup. I like the Bills though, just because I don't know, Josh Allen just he's on fire right now, and
Mhm.
Lamar Jackson, I'm still iffy because if he can contain his legs, he's not really getting the job done passing it. So
Mhm. I guess what comes into the question in the Ravens, was that game against the Texans their Super Bowl? Was all the drama? Is that the climax of their season with all the stepping and dancing on their logo?
the
Well, I guess what?
Texans,
Well, yeah, when they were playing them last week. Oh, not the Titans. The Titans. I slipped. I slipped. But
I
yeah,
was, I was
just
gonna I was gonna
the
let that
dancing, the
can't
dancing
let
on
that
their
slide.
logo. That was a little extra, but sometimes emotions gets the best of you. But I feel to complete the AFC, we gotta dig in on the Steelers. We've been preaching all year. They're frauds. They're
I
frauds.
like the Steelers. I like the
You
Steelers.
like this?
I
Well,
feel bad.
I've been saying they're frauds, man.
Just I
Corv,
can't. Juju.
Oh, jeez, Juju.
Ah,
The Browns is the Browns talking all that gas. First snap of the game, fumble, snap into the end zone and recover it for a touchdown. That's not without the Browns as head coach.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know how. And they
What
lost.
a
Denzel Ward wasn't even playing.
what a mess. What a mess. Um, Ben Roethlisberger threw up some pretty big stats. Was it over? He was definitely over 400.
Oh, he
Over
dropped five.
400. Yeah, he dropped
500.
five,
Yeah,
four touchdowns, four interceptions. But is
that's the
it is
game
it
right
the
there.
end? Is it the end for Big Ben? Is it the end for Big Ben? What do you think?
All right. So yeah, I mean, like that's a terrible way to go. You could see after the game and all the highlights the emotion that him and his center and Pouncey showed because they know that dude, like they're not gonna have as much of a chance. But a team that was what is it, like 11-0, and then went 1-5 to end the year, and then to end your season off on that type of a
Mm-hmm.
game, it's crazy. And Big Ben, I know that he struggled, man. Like they were talking about it in the game the whole time that this whole season they've been doing short passes
Mm-hmm.
instead of
Mm-hmm.
bombing it out to even though like Chase Claypool is gonna be a goat one day. Shout out to the Canadian receiver, but yeah, Big Ben, he's not the same guy, but he can still get the job done. I feel as a game manager, but they got to really consider trying to find a replacement. But I think Ben, with 1 year left on his contract, he's gonna run it back. What do
Mm-hmm.
you think?
And man, with 1 year left, you don't want to go out like that, but it brings everything in question. Like Juju, what's going on with him too, right? Like there's a whole lot of like question marks surrounding the team. So, I feel like it'll be clear a little later during like off season. But I found the Steelers like it doesn't hurt to have Ben for another year. He's a veteran, but even though his Hall of Fame status is up there. He might not have the flashiest resume, but he gets the job done. Unfortunately, not against the Browns, who is the Browns. But yeah, that's in there. But Browns up against the Chiefs.